later. Okay, so we are really excited about the first of many Conversica campaigns to come. This one is going to be a win-back campaign, so that means any customer that has canceled in the last 18 months, and that dates back to August 30th, will be a part of this campaign. So essentially, this program's intent is to drive leads for our sales organization. So it's really kind of easy peasy. Excited to kind of show you how it's going to work today. The last webinar legitimately took 12 minutes, so this shouldn't take long at all. And then you guys can get back to your Halloween. But before we get started, I wanted to thank Kelly Meyer for really kind of spearheading this entire campaign, this initiative. She's worked really hard, and so thank you very much. Okay, so Conversica, what is it? Most of you might know, because this is not our first time actually running a Conversica campaign, but essentially it's an automated sales assistant that's powered by artificial intelligence. So the assistant works just like a human sales assistant. So they reach out to every single lead on a list that we upload and we provide, and then they engage just like it's a human conversation. So you've seen this hashtag, you saw it in the Friday edition of Let's Chat, who is Sarah Walsh. Sarah Walsh, for lack of a better term, is our virtual sales assistant. So she's the one that will be reaching out to these leads and then defining whether they're hot, whether they're not. That sounded weird. But that's essentially who she is. We need to treat her as if she is a real person, so that way if someone contacts you and says, oh yeah, I remember Sarah reaching out to me, it generates that Sarah Walsh is our virtual sales assistant. So this is an example email that will be sent to that list that I just mentioned. We made sure to keep the content very generic. So just saying, we noticed that you used to have our suite of services. We want you back. Would you like an account executive to contact you? So it's really simple. She contacts them. They reach back out to her. That dialogue starts. The moment that she identifies a sales opportunity, she's going to alert the sales rep. She's going to share what she's learned, meaning she's going to send you the best number to use, the best time to call, any type of purchase requirements. So she literally does all the legwork for you. So really the beauty of all of this is that she separates the good leads from the dead ones, so that you're only talking to prospects that want to talk to you. So it's really great stuff. And Conversica also has an integration with Salesforce, so you're able to access the dashboard from your mobile phone. You can manage your lead email responses. You can see which leads have responded with intent to buy. You can check the status of sales leads, and you can read dialogue in the lead responses. So I wish I had a screenshot to show you, but essentially Sarah reaches out to the lead. They come back and say, yes, really excited for someone to contact me, and that's the hope, right? And then you're going to get an email lead saying, hey, you have a hot lead. In that email, there's going to be 3 links. The first one is just going to link you to a dedicated landing page. The third one is going to link you to a feedback form, and that's only negative, like something's not working. And then the middle one, the middle child, is the one you're actually going to click on, and that's going to take you to the contact portion in Salesforce. So this is when the middle child is not neglected. You click on the second of the 3 links. So we're actually going to walk you through what it's going to look like in Salesforce. So you're at your home page. Now, I already have Conversica in my top nav, but if you wanted to add this, you go to the add button and then scroll down, and it is what's the word I'm looking for, alphabetized. But if you want to actually add this in your top nav, you would hit your customize my tabs in the right corner. I obviously have it here, but you click Conversica, click add, and then click save. And then it would show up in your top nav. And if you don't want it there, all you have to do is hit the plus button and then scroll down to see. So once you actually go into this dashboard, sorry about that, all right, so it shows you an overview of kind of all the leads that are working right now. So you would click into your lead manager, and then you're going to want to, so these are all the leads, these are the test leads that we had sent out to make sure everything was working. You would want to go into more filters, and then you can actually filter it by sales rep. So if I want to use Anna Riley, I click Anna Riley, and only her hot leads or leads at risk would show up. So just to give you an example, so Lindsay, and this is actually our CWS marketing manager, we sent her one of our emails. So she gets an email from Sarah, again, the generic copy I mentioned earlier. So then Lindsay responds and she says, hey, thanks so much for reaching out. I'd love to hear what's changed. So then Sarah responds back and says, perfect, what's the best number to reach you on? So this is a good thing about Conversica. It doesn't actually show you in this example. Lindsay doesn't have a signature, but if she did have a signature, Conversica would go ahead and grab any numbers that are in that signature, but she still wants to make sure that she's getting the correct number. So Sarah's asking, hey, what's the best number to reach you on? And then Lindsay saying, hey, here's my number. This is when you're going to get that email that says this is a hot lead, okay? Now, a couple days later, Sarah's going to reach back out to Lindsay and say, has anybody followed up with you? Just checking in. And at this point, Lindsay said, no, nobody connected with me. Can you have them? Make sure to reach out. So that's why Lindsay is a lead at risk. Back in the portion of the conversation where she said, yep, here's my number, where it says lead at risk, it would obviously be green and it would say hot lead. So the beauty of this is that you can actually access this in the contact portion. So we'll go again to Lindsay. And right down in the contact portion is the Conversica details. So again, it shows you the first message date. It shows you when it was a hot lead, when it was a lead at risk, and what its current status is, which is a lead at risk. So, I mean, it's kind of really easy peasy, cut and dry. Conversica does all the work for you. All you literally have to do is follow up on hot leads. That's it. So you'll receive emails daily that will kind of let you know the activity within Conversica. So whether you have hot leads, whether you have leads at risk, your managers will also receive emails for you. So at this point, that's really all we just needed to kind of walk you through. So we can take questions if anybody has any questions. We can absolutely answer them. But that's really kind of how easy and cut and dry Conversica is. So at this point, 8 minutes in, that might be a record. We can take any questions if anyone has them. And then again, you would just type them in the question dialog box. And I'm not seeing any, but if you guys have any at any other point, you can certainly email myself, email Kelly, or send it to marketing@Trader Online, and we can answer any of those questions as well.
So one thing to note while we're in here and we're waiting to see if anyone has any questions is that we're going to be actually turning on the Conversica system here within the next week. So right now we're kind of still in the testing phase. And once we turn it on, all of you will receive a welcome email from Sarah Walsh where she's kind of going to introduce herself to you. And that'll be a good introduction so you can see what the emails that you're going to receive on a daily basis or when there's a hot lead coming into your inbox, what they'll be looking like. And we'll let everyone know when we send them out. If you don't receive one, then check your spam folder maybe and mark it as not spam, but we'll let you know when you should be looking out for this email.
Perfect. So like I said, this is a win-back campaign. It's the first one we'll be doing, but not the first one that Dominion has done before. We're just kind of being reintroduced into Conversica. But they have a lot of different conversations that we can have, post-event, lead prospecting. So again, this is the first of many to come. We're really excited about this. And if you do have any questions, by all means, email us and we'll make sure to answer those as quickly as possible. Otherwise, 9 minutes in, thank you so much for attending the briefest webinar I've ever personally held. So, all right, well, y'all have a happy Halloween.